Fantasy football players to add for week 4. Subscribe to Sportsmafia for more videos. Quarterback Justin Herbert, Los Angeles Chargers. Herbert was thrust into the starting lineup at the last moment in week 2 against the Kansas City Chiefs. Despite almost no time to get ready, Herbert made the most of the situation, completing 22 of his 33 passes for 311 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. His poise and solid play helped force overtime. From a fantasy perspective, Herbert is already looking like a legitimate option and at the very least a QB2 who can be kept on the bench. Based on his workload alone, Herbert should warrant a look, as he's thrown 82 passes in 2 games while adding another 7 rushing attempts. Running back Carlos Hyde, Seattle Seahawks. The Seattle Seahawks have one of the most high-powered offenses in football right now, so any skill position player on that team has some fantasy value. For running back Carlos Hyde, that value has gone way up after last week's series of events. Starting running back Chris Carson suffered a knee sprain in Sunday's win over the Dallas Cowboys. Hyde has seen only 19 touches in Seattle's offense this season, but he's coming off his first career 1,000-yard rushing season with the Houston Texans in 2019. That's a good indicator there are still some miles left on Hyde's legs, and he's a great matchup against the Miami Dolphins. Wide receiver Lazard, Green Bay Packers. Lazard played a huge role in Green Bay's 37-30 win over the Saints. He finished the game with 6 receptions for 146 yards and a touchdown, hauling in a pair of deep passes from Rodgers. There were signs that Lazard might be the real deal in 2019 when the Packers were playing without Adams, but the offense was struggling to consistently put up points. Now, that doesn't seem to be the case at all, as the Packers have set a franchise record for most points through their first 3 games. Wide receiver Justin Jefferson, Minnesota Vikings. The passing game continues to be inconsistent for the Minnesota Vikings, but that might change now that the team knows what it has in rookie receiver Justin Jefferson. Jefferson's first 2 weeks in the NFL were fairly quiet, as he caught 5 passes for 70 yards. It wasn't until this past week that the Vikings started to get Jefferson involved. He finished the Week 3 matchup against the Tennessee Titans with 7 receptions for 175 yards and a touchdown, with the score a 71-yard catch and run that included shaking a couple of defenders. Wide receiver Brandon Aiyuk, San Francisco 49ers. Ayuk's NFL debut was delayed after a hamstring injury kept him out of the team's Week 1 matchup against the Arizona Cardinals. He was eased back into things in Week 2, catching a pair of passes for 21 yards. Even with starting quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo inactive this past week, Ayuk had his breakout game. Along with a respectable 5 receptions for 70 yards from Nick Mullins, he added a 19-yard rushing touchdown on an end-around for his first career NFL score. 8 targets and a blowout win is a good sign for his fantasy value the rest of the season. Tight end Alie-Cox, Indianapolis Colts. A week after a career game, the Colts tight end picked up right where he left off by hauling in another 3 passes for 50 yards and a touchdown. That was even more impressive considering that Jack Doyle was active for the game after missing week 2 with an injury. With how well Alie-Cox has been playing, the Colts have no choice but to keep feeding the hot hand. The group at wide receiver isn't that deep behind T.Y. Hilton, and even he is off to a much quieter start than he's accustomed to. While he isn't a household name, Alie-Cox should keep getting targets from new quarterback Phillip Rivers. That's it for today's Sports Mafia video. Thank you for watching. If you like this video and want to see more Sports Mafia content, click the circle subscribe button so you never miss a single video. Hope you enjoyed.